there we go. So you've been having a good weekend?
Yeah, I've had the last 5 days off, so it's been pretty nice.
What productive things have you been doing these last five
Not
days?
much, I'll be honest. Eating too much food, drinking too much beer, playing too much video games. I had a little to-do list. I don't think I got anything on it done.
Damn straight.
I needed the break, though.
It's nice to have a couple do nothing days.
Yeah. And got a lot of good sleep in, too, which is very much needed.
Averaging 18 hours a day.
No, I didn't let myself go fully cyclic like I did when I was job hunting, where I would stay up for over 12 hours and then sleep for over 12 hours.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I didn't have anything. I was applying to jobs. I didn't have anything to do for that time, so.
That's just not. I'm just not sure if the body's meant to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it worked.
I mean, you got a job, so you're doing something right.
Yeah, it was. I was just talking to my sister earlier because she just got accepted for a job, and I sent her that little graphic I made when I was job hunting. I'm like, I'm so glad you didn't have to go through what I did. I think it was like 561 applications sent.
Yeah, but you only need one acceptance.
Yep. True. And that's all I got.
That's all you got for 5 days. Yeah, well, fair enough. Mm-hmm.
How's your weekend been? What have you been up to?
For myself, just playing a lot of Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, I forgot that came out.
So I've been pretty busy. But no, I haven't played an exceptional amount of it. I'm wanting to pace myself. I don't want to get too deep into it.
Let's do a quick look at your Steam profile and see how many hours you've put into it the past week.
Oh, it's probably been less than 10.
You haven't played for 2 days, so.
What? That can't be true.
That's what it says. Last online 1 day and 23 hours ago.
Oh, well, I have been offline.
Oh, I see.
Because I was in the zone.
Games. It might not track it if you've been offline.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think it, I can't see how, it says 0 recently played games.
Well, then there we go. Maybe I just haven't been playing Elden Ring.
That's a lie. I know that for a fact.
You caught me. I've been out partying.
Yeah, whatever.
You want to get jumped right into it then?
Sure. Man, your profile on Steam's so boring, man. You gotta put some things on there.
Profile? I don't spruce it up.
You gotta make it fun.
It's like a MySpace page supposed to put my top 8 spaces.
Well, you like look at mine compared to yours, right? You've got your favorite game. You can put your favorite game category. You can show off some of your achievements. I
use Steam to play games. I don't use it to be social. Anyone that I want to see, I will talk to.
Yeah, but you won't tell me how many. I can't ask you, and you'll tell me exactly how many hours of Elden Ring you've played in the last 2 weeks. Steam will, but because you've been
around
offline.
10.
Because like if we go look at Matt, where is Matt? Now Matt's got a profile.
Okay. Now this is a guy who knows how to Steam.
Now this is a guy who knows what he's doing. And if I go to his games, I can see the playtime. I can't see the playtime on yours.
I guess you'll never know.
I can see that Matt's played 115 hours of Elden Ring. Again, though, he's recently played a 0. Maybe it's a Steam issue. True. Anyway, we can get started. I'm distracting us.
We got important things to talk about today, Sam.
Yes, Ween. So,
Ween.
hello everyone, and welcome back to the Audio Shop podcast. This week we are reviewing The Mollusk by Ween. And the reason behind this was I picked it on Friday, and I was like, "What album's Ocean Man from again? Yeah, let's just do that one." That was my thought process.
I mean, it's a celebrated album.
Yeah, it's something. I can give us a little bit of history here on Ween.
Oh yeah.
Who I knew nothing about other than they were the people that wrote Ocean Man and that one song that the Digital Circus soundtrack sounds like. But Ween is an American rock band from New Hope, Pennsylvania, formed in 1989 by Aaron Freeman and Mickey Macondio. I probably butchered that. Better known by their respective stage names, Gene and Dean Ween.
Which is a great stage name.
Yes, they took the Traveling Wilburys approach where they just fucking made up some names. They are generally categorized as an alternative rock band. The band known for their irreverent, highly eclectic catalog of songs inspired by funk, soul, country, gospel, prog, psychedelia, R&B, heavy metal, and punk rock. So they're pretty all over the board, which we saw in this album specifically.
Yes.
So when they started out, they actually self-released several cassette albums from their formation until '89. So for about 5 years, they just did self-print cassettes. Afterwards, they put out officially 3 lo-fi albums.
Oh, okay.
God, Ween, Satan, The Oneness in 1990,
Okay.
The Pod in 91, and Pure Guava in 92. For Pure Guava, the band signed on with major record label Elektra Records, and it spawned their hit single Push the Little Daisies, which was a hit in Australia and United States. And then under Elektra, they released 4 albums: Chocolate and Cheese in 94, 12 Golden Country Greats in 96, The Mollusk in 97, and White Pepper in 2000. Excuse me. They later returned to independent labels for their albums Quebec in 2003 and La Cucaracha in 2007. And then Freeman quit the band in 2012 after a 28-year run, citing the need to focus on his alcohol and drug addiction issues. And then they reformed in 2015 and have toured extensively since, with no plans to release any new material.
So they're in their tour phase.
Yes. And about the Mollusk specifically, it was their 6th studio album, even though we just established that they only released 4.
Well, if you count the lo-fi albums.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. Okay, yeah. But I guess those were studio, in a way, even though they weren't with a studio. And it was released June 24th, 1997. It is a multi-genre concept album with a dark nautical theme, with most songs incorporating elements from psychedelia and or sea shanties.
Yes.
While also featuring heavy progressive rock influence. Dean Ween described the album as the only record that I ever felt confident about and my favorite record we've ever done. Gene Ween has echoed this sentiment, saying, "The Mollusk is probably my favorite at the end of the day." So this is the band's favorite album.
There we go. There's the the artist said so themselves.
Yeah. So we can hop right into it, Coop, with track number 1.
Oh, well, I do have just a little bit more background, Sam.
I thought I was doing the background. What's going on here?
No. Just figure it's worth mentioning that this album was a direct influence on the animated television series SpongeBob SquarePants.
I guess
we even did the song. You know that song for the tying the shoes?
Yeah, loop-de-loop and pull.
Yeah, that's Ween.
I didn't realize that because I knew Ocean Man was in the first movie, but I guess SpongeBob started shortly after this album came out.
So you're welcome.
Wow.
Apparently,
it's very fitting then that in the bottom it's Sponge Month, so we've got SpongeBob there in the bottom.
I think nautical here.
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was an direct inspiration.
What a Ween incidence. Queen dissidence.
I saw that I saw some tie-in with Loop De Loop and Pole when I was looking things up, but I didn't read too into it because I was chasing another rabbit hole, which we'll get to in a bit.
Oh, good. This album does feel like one that goes down rabbit holes.
Yes.
But yes, we can start with track number 1. I'm Dancing in the Show Tonight.
So what were your thoughts on this one, Coop, as I climb under my desk and fix my headphone jack, which is screwed up?
Knowing no background about, the individual songs on this album, besides the nautical theme, this comes off as like a I don't know, like a talent show performance.
Yes.
Quite intentionally.
Very interesting singing style.
Yeah, it like alternates between like being low pitched and high pitched. With this kind of honky tonk piano in the back and like this kind of squeaky tuba.
Yeah.
It's very like intentionally childish. And not like childish in like as in like, immature, but childish in as like being performed by a child.
Yes. The instrumental isn't great and it gets worse as it goes on, but the vocals are just horrible. It's
an extremely interesting opening to an album.
You want to know where the song's from, Cooper?
What was it from?
It's from 1953. It's a rework of the song.
It's a cover?
It's a rework of the song "Are My Ears On Straight," which was a Christmas single on the B side of "I Want to Be a I Want to Have a Hippopotamus for Christmas." That's where this is from. Which apparently, as I found out while digging this rabbit hole, that song wasn't sung by Shirley Temple.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, I did you think it was?
I did.
No, she did the Anvil Cracker song.
I know, but I thought she did Hippopotamus for Christmas as well.
No, it was Ween.
No, it was Gayla Peavy that did.
I don't know who that is.
She was 10 years old.
Well, that's good. You think she's still 10? She got older after 1954.
Now. She's 75, I believe.
Do you think Dean and Gene Ween know her?
No.
Oh.
But I could have sworn that she sang Hippopotamus for Christmas. Anyway, that's where the song is from. It's the B-side from the 78 of I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Well, that is quite the obscure pool there.
Yeah. Very obscure, interesting, but a terrible way to start this album.
Well then, how about we go then to track number 2 then? The Mollusk, the title track.
The titular track. Very easy to follow up that first one because anything would be better, maybe even Nails on Chalkboard. And we instantly get an actual vocal performance, which is quite nice.
Yes, I mean, yeah. This is the first actual song of the album. Where it has this very fluty opening.
Mm-hmm.
Like this kind of synthy flute that's fluttering in the background, and a little bit more subtle vocal performance.
Yes.
Than I'm Dancing in the Show Tonight.
Yeah, we get a main melody that kind of this main melody synth that twinkles and twiddles in the background, which is quite nice, and it's quite soft on the ears, which is in complete opposite of I'm Dancing in the Show Tonight.
Yeah, this one's definitely a lot more mellow, a lot more low key. It's got some nice acoustic in the back. It does have a little spooky, like, spoken word passage, like over synth.
Yeah, and we get a little bit of canned trumpets there around the 130 mark, which I can't help but feel would sound better if it was real trumpets, but...
I don't know, I think they're clearly going for a pretty synthy sound.
I know, but I get what they're going for, but I think if you directly subbed in the actual trumpet with instead of that canned trumpet they use, I think it would just sound better. Even though they're going for that electronic sound.
That's fair. No, yeah, it's a little jaunty ending there.
But I'm ready to jump to track 3 if you are, Coop.
Yes, track number 3, Polka Dot Tail, which is about a whale with a polka dot tail.
and it feels very Beatles adjacent. During the days they were all on drugs.
Yes. I feel some drugs were involved in this album.
Yes. Well,
if I had to take a guess,
according to Wikipedia, at least, their early albums were all written in a drug-fueled rage. So,
I mean, I would 100% believe that this album came from, let's just say, someone was hitting the Tylenol PMs a little hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has this really off-kilter, like, percussion acoustic bounce to it. Where it kind of goes, stops, and starts. With this, like, weird kind of bubbly synth underneath it.
Yeah, it's got some weird elements in it. There's a random Billy at the 105. Just somebody says Billy at the 105-ish mark. And then it launches into the guitar solo. So I was imagining it was somebody reminding the guitarist that, oh, it's time for your solo now.
Billy, you need to go.
It was very, everything was very quiet, and then you just hear Billy, and then the guitar solo starts.
And it's a nice little it's a nice little solo.
Yeah.
Still a bit of an odd song. It's very woozy, very like stumbly almost.
Yeah. It's got some deep synth and electronic noises, and then there's the bubbly synth, and then I think it's like in the last minute or something, somebody just goes, "Help me," and then it goes crazy, and that really caught me off guard and made me laugh. It was just out of nowhere because it was all instrumental at this part.
Yeah, it also has a extremely abrupt ending.
Yes, but overall, I thought it was a very fun song. A lot of nice bleeps and bloops.
A lot of bleeps and bloops. But I guess the abrupt ending makes sense for the next song, which is track number 4. I'll be your Johnny on the spot.
Johnny spelled incorrectly.
Johnny is spelled incorrectly. That's not us typoing.
No. I'm not typoing. It is Jonny. I checked because Cooper puts these in a Google Doc, and I'm like, he has made typos in the past, like when
not this time,
like when we did Hawaii Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You put started the show, and it's supposed to be snow.
No, I just write my N's a little so they look like H's.
It was typed. You weren't writing.
You can't prove that.
But this one starts with some real harsh guitar. Like it is hard rock, and the vocal line is just completely emotionless.
Yes, it's a monotone like grunge vocal delivery, or kind of a kind of driving guitar delivery. It's usually this very I don't know. I guess grunge is probably the closest to it. A little bit punk.
Yeah, I guess a little. I mean, I don't know how I would classify those vocals because it feels like they're meant to be at odds rather than an adjacent style. Like, oh, you've got this completely almost monotone, emotionless vocal line with this really harsh guitar.
Oh yeah, I mean that's I think that's not uncommon for some punk and grunge deliveries. Now typically they open up a little bit, but this song kind of keeps it a little more monotone throughout.
But
all the songs on this album are pretty tight in terms of length. I mean, this song's only 2 minutes.
This is 2 minutes. But talking about opening up, Matt just got on Elden Ring, by the way. That guitar solo at the 1 minute mark, holy shit, that was so dirty. Not what I expected from this at all, and I absolutely loved it. That was so good. That was such a good solo.
Was that even a guitar solo?
I thought it was. Maybe it was
like a synth solo.
I thought it was guitar, but maybe they tricked me.
You've been had.
I've been ruined.
I'm a dead man. I know, it's an interesting kind of driving song.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Jumping to track 4, if you're ready, Coop.
Track number 4.
5.
Mutilated.
I said 4.
You said 4.
I know, I was wrong.
You're gaslighting me. I just took your word for it. Track number 5. Mutilated Lips.
The first 30 seconds of this one sound very much like a Pink Floyd song,
I was gonna
especially
say
with that vocal delivery.
almost like an America song, if like mixed with like kind of psychedelic vocal stylings.
I kind of see where you're coming from, but with that guitar, that it to me it felt Pink Floyd, but I can see where you're coming from with that
It
America.
certainly is borrowing heavily from the more psychedelic elements of rock from like the 70s,
Yes.
which is some tasty acoustic guitar on this
Mm-hmm.
song.
Yeah, it is. It is quite good. Will say I'm not a fan of the vocals as much on this one. They do that pitch up thing around the 1 minute mark. Um, but it's a little chorus repetitive.
Oh, I like it. It's hypnotic.
I guess to me that while I do quite like the guitar work, there just wasn't enough compared to other tracks on this album. There wasn't enough zhuzh going on. It was a little flat. You got to zhuzh it up.
I mean, I'd say this is plenty zhuzhed. Um, interesting vocal delivery, good acoustic guitar. I like the tasteful use of synth throughout the song. I mean, when they go, when they go non-subtle, they go non-subtle. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit on the album's appreciated.
To each their own. I did quite the first 30 seconds of it are my favorite part for sure. Jump into track 6 if you're ready, Coop.
Track number 6, The Blarney Stone.
What? You go first, Coop.
Yeah, I guess this is like a pirate anthem.
It's
also
it's a Scottish sea shanty.
It's definitely the only explicit song in the album, and it's not subtle with that explicit label.
No, not at all. I think they drop at least 4 or 5 F-bombs in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it is explicit. You're not gonna be playing this one for grandma.
No.
But obviously it's going for like a very like dirty as possible. Like there's a lot of hooting and hollering in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's like actually being played in like some grungy pub somewhere.
Yeah. We get the main singer who's doing is a disrespectful Scottish accent. It feels a little disrespectful.
Is that even Scottish? I thought he was just doing like a pirate accent.
No, the Blarney Stone is a Scottish thing.
Is it? What is it?
Shoot, what is it? It is. Oh, sorry, it's Irish. Ooh, I'm gonna get.
Whoa, hey! I'm speaking about offensive.
Whoops. I could have sworn it was Scottish. Maybe I'm thinking of the dessert.
Which dessert?
They are. Oh shit! It is an Irish thing. Shit. It's powdered sugar, milk, vanilla, salted peanuts, and pound cake. So you coat the pound cake in peanuts.
That's what Blarney is?
No, those are Blarney Stones. The Blarney Stone is a castle in Ireland.
Oh, it sounds like an actual place.
Yeah. The Blarney Stone is a block of Carboniferous limestone built into the battlements of Blarney Castle in Blarney, about 8 kilometers from Cork, Ireland. According to legend, kissing the stone endows the kisser with the gift of gab.
Why would you want that?
I don't know.
Is that a positive thing?
So I was quite wrong there. That's my bad.
I'm sure our Irish audience is going to be extremely disappointed in you, Sam.
Yeah, I know they will be. All 0 of them. We do actually get a pretty consistent 5 views on YouTube every upload now.
Oh, there we go.
And I never uploaded that last George Harrison one, by the way, so that's lost time.
Oh.
That's my bad.
Rest in peace.
Anyway, the song itself, it's like it's supposed to be like a sea shanty, but it's like Irish themed.
Yes, it's yeah, it is very. It is the most nautical song of this album.
They got like synth accordion in there. I couldn't tell if it was trying to be accordion or bagpipes. It's kind of like halfway between the two.
Pretty sure it's accordion.
That's what I thought, but I was like,
it's like maybe a heavily distorted one.
Yeah. I like it, but again, I think it would have sounded better with an actual accordion, but you know.
You don't get it. They're trying to sound bad.
No, they're not trying to sound. They're going for a sound. I just think it would still fit their style if they use the real thing, you know. But that's all I got.
Assuming they weren't working with the largest budget for this album.
Well, I don't know. It was their sixth album by this point. But you're probably right. They probably didn't have access to a full orchestra. All right, so going 7.
7. It's gonna be all right.
Not the Beatles song.
Someone called that?
No, but that's a lyric from one of them.
Which one?
I can hear it. I can't tell you the name of it.
And a song, it's gonna be all right now. Back and together. Jumpin' Jack Flash gonna get in. But it's not a Beatles song.
I know it's gonna be all right. What is it?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Revolution. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Say you want a revolution. Don't you know it's gonna be all right? Except they spell it. It's ALL space right, not.
Oh, okay. So Ween's in the clear. Whew. Almost thought we caught him there for a second.
No, I mean we didn't catch them last week with the direct ripoff of the Beach Boys. I don't think we can pin this on them.
That's true. If we're not calling out the Living Twigs, we can't call out Ween here.
Yeah.
You know, I will give Ween that. I don't think they're copying anyone in this album.
No, I think you're pretty safe to say that. There's some influence here and there, but they're not copying. Ugh.
It's definitely the most normal cut on the album so far.
Yeah.
Certainly vocally.
Honestly, bit of whiplash going to something so normal.
It's melodic, low key, kind of has these airy backing vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess maybe they just felt like making a normal one here.
I'm not sure I vibe with it, but I see the vibe they're going for, and I like the vibe they're making. This is one that I think would grow on me a lot the more I listen to it, right? Like the first listen, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. But I think after like 2 or 3 listens, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a great song.
Yeah, it's definitely got a nice vibe, even if it's not like the same interest as the other songs. But, you know, maybe that's a nice little, after the Blarney Stone, having a little cool off is not bad.
And then you got that the chorus kind of lifting you up and carrying you around like you're rocking on a boat, which I thought was nice.
Is that the nautical connection?
Yeah. I definitely got that from the chorus.
At least you don't have to worry about the nautical connection in the next song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's track number 8, The Golden Eel.
If I could spell.
Eel. E-E-L-L.
Really minimalistic backing track. But it's got a nice bloopy synth in there, which is nice.
Yeah, very, very sparse at the beginning. I mean, to be fair, the drums explode around the 1 minute mark where it really starts to fill out.
I will say, don't think it needs to be a 4-minute song. I quite like when it opens up, but the trek to get to the opening up isn't my favorite.
Yeah, it's extremely sparse. Maybe to its detriment, and it has I guess it has a guitar. I just switched between a very faint to a wall of sound.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what they were going for here.
The front half of the song meshes oddly with the back half for certain. With the front half being so light and then the back half being quite heavy. Which is
it's interesting.
Better. Yeah, it is. It's done better by later tracks though.
True, true. So we'll keep going then to track number 9 here. Cold blows the wind.
And again, this one again, very long intro.
Yeah, but this one's kind of going for a little more low key acoustic intro with a little bit of a darker undertone. So
Yes, they don't try and blow it up. At the halfway through, like they did with the last track, we get a nice little synth that comes in around the 145 mark, which is quite nice. And then we get some nice canned strings as well that make it a big difference.
Oh yeah, the violins are quite the little sad violins that sneak into the song that kind of help carry that darker note as it's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they are very canned, but so is I think most of the stuff on this album.
Yeah, but for strings, I can't blame them as much because that you need to get multiple. Whereas with like the trumpet earlier, it's like, come on, you just gotta get one trumpet.
You can't find a trumpet guy.
You can't find a trumpet guy, but it's like, okay, you need to find a small quartet or a little bit more. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a little bit harder to do.
I can't walk outside without tripping over a trumpet player.
No. Jump into track 10 if you're ready, Coop.
Track number 10, Pink Eye, Dash on My Leg.
Which doesn't make much sense.
It doesn't. I mean, to be fair, it's not like it's not the most egregious track title on this album. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we will. But this one is it's quite instrumental.
It has vocals in it, but very sparsely.
Yes. It's a very fun start. I like it. Some nice
I like the kind of blurby synth.
Yeah, with some wind sound effect in the background. And then eventually, as we get further into the instrumental, they start just throwing in random noises. So we get a dog barking, but it's the same dog bark played over and over again.
That damn dog bark. It's a dog bark sound effect.
And then
like someone's pressing a keyboard
Yes.
with the same bark noise on it.
And then they pitch it. So what they did is they loaded the sound effect to their keyboard and then played it. And then there was the guy who couldn't decide what he wanted to order at the drive-thru that they kept playing over and over again.
Yeah, between the dog barks like sounds and the moaning.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is it, Chief.
No, can't say that I'm a fan.
I'm not sure what emotion this was trying to elicit from me.
No.
It's mostly annoyance.
Still better than the first track though.
I mean, at least I could see what they were going for with that track. This one is it's like trying to grab it's like trying to grab fog, right? There's nothing to hold on to. I don't know what I'm working with.
Jump into track 11 then if you're ready to.
A song I know what I'm working with.
Yeah.
Track number 11, Waving My Dick in the Wind. Finally a track for the boys.
Finally a track with some hair on its chest. I mean it does what it says on the tin. That's that they sing that an awful lot. And it's very catchy. I hate how catchy it is.
Yeah, it's like just a fun little guitar romp.
But there's like all this back and forth with some dude named Jimmy about how good he can dance. And they even have him they have him dance twice. But they do that thing
in a 2-minute song.
Yes. They do that thing where the music kind of drops out so it focuses. It's almost like he's tap dancing, right? But there's no tap sounds. So the music kind of dies down and you're supposed to just imagine how good his dancing. He's an old man, by the way. He talks kind of like this. Oh, I'm not as young as I used to be. And you're supposed to picture him dancing.
The more you talk about the song, the funnier it gets.
Remind you, this song is about waving your dick in the wind, not about, what was his last name? Jimmy something?
I don't remember.
You didn't write it down? Okay, I didn't either. But, and then this is only what, like a 2-minute song?
Yeah, I know. It's a tight song.
There was such a focus on Jimmy, but by the time he got back to the chorus of waving his dick in the wind again, I was like, oh yeah, that was what the song was about. I had forgotten.
You think when they play this live, they have an old man come out on stage and dance?
God, I hope so.
Or maybe they just get someone from the audience and they just put their name in the song.
I was gonna say, how old are they? Maybe they just do it now. They've been doing it for 28 years, and
they've aged into the Jimmy role.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if they get someone from the audience to do it, and they don't tell them what they're going to ask them to do, and they just rap out of the song and tell them to dance on stage.
I mean, if you're going to a Ween concert, I feel like you've listened.
You're familiar with their work. Like you don't happen upon a Ween concert.
You don't just wandering. I'm going to go see this band called Ween.
Oh, like rock and roll? Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I feel like you know what you're getting into.
I don't know. I feel there's probably quite a few people who went to Ween knowing only the song "Ocean Man."
That's a good point. That's why I picked this album. So
got a surprise.
But that's that song. You want to jump to track 12?
Yes, track 12, Buckingham Green. Which starts with like some distorted vocals that are really far back in the mix. But they stay back there, so I guess it was also intentional.
Yeah. This one is, again, this is probably the second most normal song on the album.
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, it's a little more alternative, kind of some low-key acoustic break and like a little bit more fun electric guitar mixed into it. But it doesn't do anything too crazy.
No.
The vocal mix is probably the weirdest thing about it.
It's got this nice long opening, though, before it kind of opens up a bit more, but it feels earned, and it doesn't open up too much. This is what they were trying to do earlier with that slow intro to the quick open.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps that kind of low-key alternative sound throughout.
Get some nice timpani in the background, makes it a little more epic.
And the vocal styling kind of grows on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Different vibe.
It's very different. It's very nice and chill. Which is completely different than track 13.
Track number 13. What we're all here for, Ocean Man.
God, even having listened to the whole album, this song is still so out of place.
The song makes less sense in the context of the album.
You're like, it's nautical themed. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because like besides this and a couple other songs out there, so I know I'm like, okay, I haven't listened to that much in Ween. I'm interested to see how Ocean Man slots into an album experience.
It does not.
And this is like, it does not make any sense in the context of the album.
It feels so produced and bright and cheery compared to everything else.
I mean, obviously they strike gold. You got to give them there.
Yeah, but it's like, it didn't compute. It's like this song does not fit on this album. And I don't know if it's the case of, you just have that song that and so it always sounds a bit weird when you hear it in context of the album. I still feel this one sticks out like a sore thumb.
And I mean, to be fair, it still feels like a Ween song. I mean, those vocals are like down pitched.
Yeah.
I just kind of pair to a pretty killer main melody.
Yeah. Except the pitching they don't make it as obvious as they did any other time they pitched the vocals.
It's a little more subtle.
Yeah. They actually, they mix it properly. And they don't do up and down pitching to show you it's pitched. They just leave it at the same level. I wonder if they knew how much this would pop off, with SpongeBob.
I mean, I don't think they were planning for popularity when they made this album, which I can respect.
Yeah. I mean, it is their favorite album.
Their most popular song by a significant margin.
I believe it. What's the number 2? You got Spotify pulled up?
Yeah, their number 2 is all their biggest songs are from this album from Quebec. Which is, I've listened to a couple tracks off of that one. But, yeah, it's Ocean Man, Tried and True from Quebec, Transdermal Celebration from Quebec, Wave My Dick in the Wind, and the Mollusk.
That's number 4? Wow.
Yeah. Jimmy really really paid off.
Wow, okay. Interesting. But, bringing it home with track 14, if you're ready.
Track 14, the last track, She Wanted to Leave. Which is, what accent do these guys have?
I think they're doing another Irish accent.
They had to, right? They're from Pennsylvania.
Yes, this is what led me down some of the rabbit holes. Was like, okay, what where are these guys from? Is this their normal voice? It sounds like they're putting on a voice. And no, they're from Pennsylvania. They are putting on Irish accents.
Yeah, this one it sounds like they're kind of doing like a bad David Bowie impression.
Yeah, a little bit.
If I'm being honest, it's an interesting vocal delivery.
And the song is long at like 4 minutes, but it ends at 2:20.
Yes, there's like a gong sound, and then the whole song goes silent.
And then for about 15 seconds, and then some light wind comes in, and then some piano, deep bass, and strings begin playing a reprise. I'm dancing in the show tonight.
Yes, but it's like this like post-apocalyptic wasteland version.
I thought it was a cute way to end the album.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of adds like a I don't know, like a weird like hinge to the whole album.
Yeah.
Like where does this take place? Is this like a wasteland?
Yeah.
Is like how we know it like gone? Is it only mollusks left? Makes you think.
Yeah. It's an album that you listen to and you think. Mainly, sure. I want to see Jimmy's dance.
Jimmy better be busting a move.
I can't dance like I used to.
He's the same Jimmy from when they wrote this album. Like 30 years older. He's like 110. Me die! All right, well, that's the end of the album.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. So Cooper...
Sam.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just going to say, Sam, what was your favorite track on the album?
Favorite track? I think I have to go with I'll Be Your Johnny on the Spot.
Oh, interesting.
I know. It's weird, but I quite enjoyed it. At least I didn't pick Waving Your Dick in the Wind.
Worst song of the album.
What is your favorite?
I mean, Ocean Man's a classic. It's definitely got to be one of mine. I also really liked Mutilated Lips. That acoustic just like, I thought it was choice. Very good instrumental backing on that song.
I did quite like the start of it.
What about your least favorite song?
I mean, it's Dancing in the Show Tonight. It's terrible. If I had to pick a second least favorite, though, since that's not really a thing, it might have to be Golden Eel, maybe. But
that's fair, yeah.
I didn't dislike that as much. What about you?
And I could see both of those. Mine's probably Pink Eye on My Leg. It was just annoying.
Yeah, that's fair.
The sound effects were not it, champ. But I could very easily see why Dancing in the Show Tonight is it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well then that means we've reviewed all the songs. I mean, we have to get to a rating here.
We gotta rate it, and I believe I did it last time, so I think it's your turn to come up with a brand new story that we've never told before.
Well, yeah, it's because we have to explain why we have a car-themed rating system, and it's because actually most people don't know this. Me and Sam actually invented the first nautical car. It's kind of, it uses buoyancy. It's very novel. Uses buoyancy to be able to propel a car across the water. Obviously, since we're not using friction, we removed the tires. We added some wind capturing elements to the design. They're largely made of wood, and they're able to travel great distances across water. It's a water car.
Had to lose the wheels because it
had. Well, yeah, of course, no tires. And yeah, frankly, I think it's really going to catch on.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised no one's thought of it before.
Yeah,
I've been tinkering around with an idea for one that travels through the air, but we'll workshop that later.
That'll never happen.
Some sort of air bus. No, but for that reason, we use a car-themed rating system. Where at the tip to top, you have showroom. That's the cream of the crop, the best of the best. This is the album you want to show to everyone. And all the way at the bottom, you have scrapyard. Your bottom of the barrel. Ooh, yeah, get it away from me album that you just never want to see again. And then we have like new fixer-up or used rental in between. You might give it a high or low depending on our mood for that day. So with all that being said, Sam, what would you rate The Mollusk by Ween?
I think I would give it a very low like new. or a very high fixer upper, one of the two. I think it's a good listen. I think it's worth a listen if you've not listened to it. I don't know if I'll ever come back to it, so maybe I should put it in fixer upper. But I feel like I just got just enough enjoyment to put it very, very low on like new. What about you? What do you think?
Probably go a little lower with the fixer upper. Certainly the higher end. I mean, it presents a lot of very interesting ideas. I mean, they were swinging for the fences on this one.
Yeah.
But I think they missed as much as they hit.
That's fair.
I mean, obviously Ocean Man's a bop, mutilated lips. Even some of the weirder cuts like Blarney Stone I appreciate, and then you have like some just straight up annoying ones. Dancing the Show, The Golden Eel, Pink Eye. It's a very mixed bag album. Again, I agree with you. I think it's worth the listen. But at the same time, it's not something I'm going to be seeing myself return to super often.
Yeah, it's a hey, you should listen to this funny album, and then okay, I'm not listening to that again.
It's like eating those. You remember like back in like when you were at school, where you'd have like the jelly beans that had like weird flavors, like popcorn or something.
They still make those. I think my dad actually likes those flavored, the popcorn.
It's kind of like that, right? But you buy them to me like that should not taste like that.
I hate them. It's honestly before they invented those weird like bean boozle things where you could get like rotten fish guts. The popcorn Jelly Belly was my least favorite Jelly Belly.
It's like that, right? You occasionally get a popcorn. Sometimes you get like an actual good flavor. But it's just an odd experience all around. So give it a listen if you're looking for something different.
That's the album. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Now we're going to roll on over to the spare tire, which is just whatever else we've been listening to. And I don't remember. I'll be honest. I opened up Spotify to see what my recently played was, and it's not loading, so I can't tell you what I've been listening to. I don't remember. It's mainly been more of the same. Was there someone I was listening to? I can't remember.
Finish Flea?
No, not much recently. I can't even click any of the albums to load. It just says I've not listened to anything.
Never listened to music before.
But I've not been working, so I've been watching YouTube mainly. So I guess I probably haven't listened to anything recently.
Oh, you're really big into mukbangs, right?
Yep, that's all I watch.
You have 3 different ones on your monitors.
Usually it's 4, but one of
all
them
volume at max.
One of them got a burned-in image of a taco on it, so I have to replace that one. But yeah, I've just been. I got recommended a couple albums. I'm going to listen to some video game compilation music, and I actually just recommended your brother's album.
Ooh,
to my partner.
A good album.
Because she was like, I really like Griffey Lake. Send me that whole album. I want to listen to it.
It's a good album.
Yeah. I don't know if I've actually sat down and listened to the whole thing, so I might have to do that this week as well to calm myself at going back to the shit show that is work after being gone for so long.
Having to do your job.
I know.
Welcome back to the grind.
Why do
You're here for the next 40 years.
Why do I have to do a job? Anyway.
Here, just make a lot of money very quickly, and then you'll never have to work again.
Easier said than done. What about you? What about you, Coop? What have you been listening to?
Honestly, not too much either. King Cruel released a new EP that was pretty good. But honestly, beyond that, just kind of stuck to my regular playlists.
Yeah.
I was listening to some podcasts and audiobook this week, so
yeah, I keep getting recommended audiobooks, and I'm inching closer to doing it. Especially one of the people I watch on YouTube wrote a book, and he when he was writing it, he would read chapters on his podcast, and he does the voices for all the characters. And so he did an audiobook version of it where he does that. So I'm kind of tempted to go listen to it.
Well, Spotify gives you 15 hours of audio a month if you have premium.
Why is there a limit? I'm paying for it.
Oh, Spotify.
And now I'm paying $1 more for it a month.
Could have gone to your that could have gone to your cake ball budget.
No, I just made those because I had leftover cake.
Stealing food right out of your mouth.
No.
Now you're going to starve.
I haven't made any sweets this week. Thank you very much. That was all last week.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all we got. So if you've liked this for some reason and you want to see some more and you're watching us on Twitch currently, you can scroll down on the page, click the picture of Jeff Lynn. He'll take you over to YouTube, where almost all our past episodes are, and you can listen to your heart's content. I have them in a playlist. I would definitely invert it, and don't start at the start because they were pretty bad. Maybe that we should do that at some point, Coop. Listen through our old episode and commentate on it.
I do that.
The very first episode.
I do not want to do that. We have to listen to ourselves, Sam. Why would we put ourselves in that situation? What would we gain?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's been 5 years since that one. It's been over 5 years at this point. Maybe that's the 10-year anniversary.
It's going back and looking at it and we're like, we were so young.
Yeah, if I'm still alive by the 10 years. And if you're listening on YouTube right now and you want to watch us live, usually Sundays 8 p.m. Eastern, you can click on the link in the description, and that'll take you to Twitch where you can follow us and yell at us in chat, and we will see it because nobody ever puts anything in chat. So you can, well, aside from the bots trying to say, pay here for clicks.
The AI. They'll replace us one day.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit worried about that, especially with how much of our voices is out there. Anyway, has Blue Sky taken
to an AI this entire time?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you can follow us, Auto Shop Pod. That's POD, and we'll let you know what album we're listening to and when we're gonna listen to it.
Yeah, the death throes of Twitter have been a lot longer than I thought they'd be.
It is a behemoth. Does not fall easy.
There's alternatives now. So why does everybody stay? We left.
Because you already had the account.
Fair enough. Personally, I don't like supporting Nazis, but that's just me.
But then they have to make a whole new account and make a new
man,
password.
What an inconvenience.
Yes. All of them. That's what the numbers show.
Anyway, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.
See you later, shoppies.
See ya.